Yeah, I don't think you need to advertise chocolate to kids. Anyway. And yeah, like the second twin being pregnant definitely points towards her having children, but there's, there are scenarios where you are pregnant and then don't end up with a kid in the end. So who knows? Like, she could have been in the car crash, for example. It's like one of the possible scenarios where like there's never actually like a. And then I don't know how you would handle that on like a family tree like that. But I don't know. But it was the other way around. Right, what do we know about Bonnie? Nothing, right? There's not going to be anything there. No. No. I mean, she's like, yeah, she's the cousin who settles. Gwendolyn, cousin Bonnie gave up on dreams, settled for boring men. Okay, Davy and Bethany. I mean, it would make sense if these two are Davy and Bethany. It would make the most sense to me. Davy's younger sister. And then these would be Kellogg's. Davy would, yeah, David. That would make you Kellogg the third. It seems right. The red hair makes sense too. But then which one of these would be the younger sister? Like, she looks younger for sure. Anyway. Can we have swimmer? Athlete? Pro athlete. I don't know actually if you turn pro though. I don't know. It's a little guessy. I don't like it. What was the text along with that? Davy's in for Yukon. Bethany's yearbook picture. Stephanie, who's an only child. No, okay, yearbook picture wouldn't be. Your yearbook picture would be this. Not the other thing, right? Like, that's not a yearbook picture, is it? College student makes sense, yeah. That's not an occupation, though. Nice, so many extras. Look at all those names. Booyah. Okay, so we don't know what Bonnie did for a living, if anything. And we can't add the picture because we don't have that. That's very annoying. But that side is almost done. That's nice. How is there still, like, it's all crossed off? How is there still, like, stuff here? There's, like, nothing in any of these anymore, I guess. So the campaign mail still has more, but I don't know how. It doesn't make sense. So wait, did we have you logged in too? So was that something? No, you're right, yeah. But this didn't, like, remove the... Okay, we need to figure out who's the doctor. I don't know how to look for that. I guess we could Google Zach Stephen Jason. Yeah, okay, Stephen. Dr. Stephen Wilson is a pediatrician who practices north of Pittsburgh. Although there are a lot of Stephen Wilsons and Dr. Wilsons, this one apparently found a way to gain the search results as he pops to the top every time. So he's got good SEO. His website claims that he is the pediatrician to the stars. The only evidence for this is that he apparently was the doctor to the Roottrees sisters. There's a picture of him on his website as well as a picture of his 3 children. 3 of them look as though the photographer was holding them hostage. Regardless, the photo has been added to your evidence. There's also a quote that, although credited to his child Jason, you suspect might not be written by a 10-year-old. My dad is the best dad in the entire world, and he treats every patient with world-class care. He will treat your children like he would me, my big brother, or my sister. No, that sounds like a child would say that for sure. It does look bogus. What was the wording on that exactly? Completely bogus, yeah. It does look completely bogus. I can't disagree with Caroline there. Man. Do I look up Stephanie in the periodicals? Which one? Anyway. Yeah, I don't know, we can. But that's okay, let's look at the kids. Yeah, they don't look very... He looks fine, these two... But they're also like teenagers, right? That's just the way teenagers look. The politician? We've looked at her in the newspaper for sure, but not in... I don't know if she's in anything else. But we did search the campaign thing in the newspaper, and we got something out of that. Taken 2 years ago, 1996. I forgot, was it Steven? I can't, like, my short-term memory is not working. Steven, yes. Completely bogus, yes. And then the Jason, the youngest. And since he's like 10, or who was 10 a year ago, he's probably in K-12. I'm guessing. And then, do we know, like, you're graduating, but, like, you could be already graduated, I don't know. Like, this is, I don't know. 3 children. No. I don't know. Is your children like you with me, my big brother, or my sister? Yeah. Don't know. Okay, that's fine. That's progress still. Yeah, that's the same person. I feel like you should do both the hat and the glasses though. Like that would be an even better look maybe. It's a shame. Like they go together, right? That's like, oh, you know, very artsy. Maybe we get more Clark Rafferty photos. Few fans out for the band, Jim and Diamond seem to mention that he used to make music with Clark Rafferty. They mentioned an album called These Times. Great progress. A band called C and J and J and D released one single called These Times. Please let me listen to that. Someone with the username XXX Diehard Dazzler XXX scanned the cover and noted that it cost him over $200 at auction. Apparently this was Jim Roottrees and Diamond LaRue's first song together. He also mentions that it was performed with Jim's cousin and Diamond's sister, and it was only somewhat similar to Jim and Diamond's later work. You can't find anything else about XXX Diehard Dazzler XXX, the band, or the single, so all that's left to do is add the scan to your evidence. After a blazing fast 35-minute download, the track is also available. Yes! Yes. These are kind of bad. Where's your eye? Why are your eyes so red? Anyway, These Times is an old single from folk group C and J and D. That's such a bad name. You have a scan of the album as well as a recording of the title track thanks to the corrector of Jim and the Roottree memorabilia. The website also listed the song's credits as music and lyrics by Clark Rafferty and Jim Roottree, backup vocals by the LaRues. On it is a sticker that says folk style songwriting, catchy, MMM magazine. We should look up MMM magazine too. Yeah. Modern Music Monthly. Magazine from the 40s to the early 80s. It went out of business due to high competition from much more major publications. That makes sense. Do we read the lyrics first, or do we just listen to it this time? I don't know. The lyrics of this song contain no clues. How would you know? Life is life, and love shall be, me for you and you for me. Some day will come, though, that this tree will be the last of what was we. With passing years, all paths diverge, rivers rambling onwards surge, one source behind old memories, but find their way to different seas. Someday these times will all be over, Dew dries on the morning clover, that's me. So take my hand beneath the tree and carve your name with me. These times are ours for free. We'll tell ourselves these stories older, dwell on warmth, ignore the colder, probably yearn for what could be, rose tinted by youth's memory. So act as though these times ain't fleeting, love still flows, our hearts hard beating. For now ignore fate's destiny, two roads that crossed once at this tree. Someday these times will all be over. Dew dries on the morning clover. So take my hand beneath the tree and carve your name with me. These times are ours for free. Someday these times will all be over. Dew dries on the morning clover. So take my hand beneath the tree and carve your name with me. These times are ours for free.
Life is life, love shall be, me for you and you for me. Someday will come, though, that this tree will be the last of what was we. With passing years, all paths diverge, rivers rambling onward surge. One source behind old memories, but find their ways to different seas. Someday these times will all be over.
Very good.
Dew dries on the morning clover. So take my hand beneath the tree and carve your name with me.
It's a good song.
We'll tell ourselves these stories older, dwell on warmth, ignore the colder, probably yearn for what could be, rose tinted by youth's memory. So act as though these times ain't fleeting, love still flows, our hearts heart beating. For now ignore fate's destiny, two roads to cross, one's at this tree. Someday these times will all be over.
It's very good.
Dew dries on the morning clover. So take my hand beneath the tree and carve your name with me. These times are ours for free.
Very good backing vocals, yes.
Someday these times will all be over. The dew dries on the morning clover. So take my hand beneath the tree and carve your name with me. These times are ours for free.
I mean, none of the eyes look right. The Jim Roottrie Clark Lafferty and the LaRues, right? But this guy has like kind of like pale. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would guess that like based on the hair color here, they could have dyed their hair, but like this one is more blonde, so I would guess that this one is diamond and the other one is chain. We don't really have anything else to go off for those two. And then here, I would guess that this with the beard, because Jim does have a beard here, but the eyes don't look the same. But he also does look like maybe, maybe he's not entirely like, you know, sober in this one. But I would guess that this is him. And then that's the other one. And then he's a musician, but is he like a musician forever? Because it's like, maybe that's his, like, we don't know anything else about him. Maybe he was up all night playing music, maybe. Maybe. He's wearing eyeliner. That does skew the color theory a bit, that's true. I mean, these, I don't know, like they don't look like the same person really. But that's also like a very, you know, like lots of makeup, hair done, like that's kind of like a very different, and like a, you know, they're not, it's not the same, we can see the eyes, different facial expression. I don't know. I don't know. What's the last thing we did before this? Oh yeah, these times. We really can't find anything else about this guy? That's a shame. A section of the magazine called Skip It or Flip It has short, pithy blurbs about new records. An album called These Times is listed under the Skip It column with the following. These Times, a new single from C&J and J&D, Clark Lafferty, Jim Roottrie, and two of the LaRue sisters. Amateurish folk-style songwriting is catchy at times, but ultimately doesn't do anything new. Fair, I guess, maybe? I don't know. A review and interview from 1979 titled A Reluctant Hitmaker. Jim goes into his first band. Until a few years ago, Diamond and I were in C&J and J&D with my cousin and his ex. Clark never knew his father, so our grandpop insisted he spend time with my dad and me. As a result, Clark and I grew up like brothers. Diamond and Jane, on the other hand, are actually sisters. So the four of us had sort of a cutesy family band thing going on. Not our finest hour. Regardless, when Diamond walked in on Clark in bed with her and Jane's other sister, everything exploded. Okay. Yes, that's like a confusing sentence, kind of, because like Diamond walked in on Clark in bed with her, but it's her and Jane's other sister. Because you can't like really walk in on someone in bed with you. That doesn't work usually. Anyway, no more family band. The only thing Clark and I had in common was music, but even then we never agreed on what it should be. He was always more interested in catchy tunes, something you hum a week later. I've been told Roland is like that, but it wasn't my goal. Well, let's finish this first. When he called me up and said he liked it, I took it as a sign I was going in the wrong direction musically. That's so rude, though. Like the guy who grew up like you know, was like you're kind of like your brother growing up, tells you he likes the song, and you're like, well, I'm doing everything wrong, I guess. Oh man, that made him laugh, but I'm trying to make art. I don't mind saying any of this because he'd agree. For most of the decade, he was a mess, but he's a lot happier now. He started Raffer Tunes, and he's a much better jingle writer than songwriter. Okay, one of the benefits of our famous family is a massive company willing to be a client. That's also how my father was connected to Roottree. All of his old campaigns were hung on the walls over the record player, and I was never interested. I just went straight for the music. I guess Clark was paying more attention. Okay, so the father is in advertising. Or was. And the Raffer Tunes is something new that we don't know about yet. Website about Raffer Tunes. Clark Rafferty LaRue's advertising firm. On it there is an about page and you find a picture labeled inspiration for the famous Super Bowl ad campaign. They had a Super Bowl ad? That's crazy. Below that is more detail. Clark was in a department store getting a family portrait of his wife and children, and when his wife was trying to get his youngest, Katrina, to calm down for the picture, he had the idea for the Roottree Super Bowl ad. The photo is now in your evidence. She does not look happy. Okay, Clark, Katrina. Let's maybe use... Nah, I don't know. Or we can't. Can't anyway, right? The youngest Katrina. Rafferty LaRue. And then the other one also has the double name. Jessica. Oh, and then that's the third LaRue sister, because he was... Right. He was with Jane, and then they caught him with Kim. Sure, yes. And he's like... I mean, I don't know. What's his profession then? Like, occupation? He's like... he's kind of in advertising, but not really? Because he's writing chingers, maybe? I don't know. But he's in advertising, yeah, no. Like, the idea for the Super Bowl ad, yeah. And then maybe this is the wrong picture. But I don't know. I'm gonna give him this one. He looks less old. He married her? Apparently, yes. Because, like, I mean, the kids have the double name. So, that's kind of wild, right? She had, like, a son with Jane LaRue, and then married her sister Kim and had two daughters with her. It's kind of, it's very messy. Like you know. We're just halfway in the picture already anyway. Give us that. Anyway, do we know what Chris does for a living? And then the Chim's dad is in advertising too. Yes. Like, can I see the... I want to see the Super Bowl ad. Roottreee Super Bowl ad? Okay, the Roottreee Mapers Super Bowl commercial from 1994 has a family bickering in a department store and the father bites into a Roottreee Maper crisp. Time stops and the singer plays while he dances down the aisle. As he does, different things in the department store become Roottree candy. For example, a bed that the father collapses onto becomes a giant chocolate bar. It's probably relatively uncomfortable. The Chinger Need the Rest went on to be featured in other commercials with other scenarios. Can we listen to that? This is a famous Chinger for Roottree Mapers originating in the Super Bowl commercial. The Chinger goes, when you're surrounded by madness and mayhem, reach for the best. There's enough there to share, but let's face it, you need the rest. Anyway. I wanted more there, but okay. Can we look for Roland in here? No, shame. Yeah, how my father was connected to Roottree. All the ad campaigns are hung on the walls. Or the record player. Never interested. Just interested in music. Gark was paying more attention. Come on, what's the band called again? The Floozies. No, the magazine doesn't exist anymore, right? It's only until the 80s. That's a shame. It said that in the thing, and we're like in, you know, in the late 90s now, so they don't have it. That is very disappointing. Anyway, we should like finish. Like these are probably students. Yeah. Nice, nice, nice. So something's wrong about. I mean, you're gonna be right too. It's nice, but you're not right, and you're not right. So it's the other way around, really. That's crazy. But okay. That is wild. Right, who else? Can we log in anyone else here? Can't see. We would need Carl Rootree's father's job somehow. I don't know. Wait, but wait, who's the... So this is... Yeah, we had the whole thing with like... Who was it? We need to look at that again. So third president and fifth president. We're missing the fourth. Someone in between these two. And there was like the... Whoever like... Was it cancer? I don't know if it said cancer, but someone who like... But which one was that? I don't remember which thing it was. This is scrambled here, right? This one. To Carl and Brenda, I'm sorry that you were unable to attend the funeral. It's traditional to have it as soon as possible, and Ernie, more than anyone else on earth, knew how busy your job can be. I've enclosed the Shiva candle identically to ours if you'd like to pay your respects. There's not expected for those outside of the faith to do so. Ernie was a man full of love, not only for his family, but for his family's legacy. He had an immense amount of pride for the work you three did together, as well as how Carl had carried on for him after taking over. So yeah, Carl took over from Ernie, so Ernie is the fourth president. For myself, it's impossible to express my gratitude enough for rescuing us from the panic and burden of endless bills. Still, we caught it too late for him to get on the donor list. The company took care of us beyond our wildest expectations. It went unsaid at the time, but Ernie and I knew it had to have been Carl that convinced the trust, and that it was no coincidence that it happened shortly after your visit, Brenda. Up until the end, Ernie and I had to stay strong, especially for Nicole's sake. You could never have done that without the two of you fighting for us. So much love, Debbie. So Debbie, Nicole, and Ernie. And like, so Carl had to convince the trust. So he was not like a blood relative then, Ernie. I'm guessing? Because otherwise he would have had the money anyway, right? But he was the president? That's confusing. And then we don't really have a lot of space for like a family. Like here? And that's it, kinda. Because this is not Ernie, this is Ronald. There's no family. So it's gotta be this or this. Right, and they were like Roottrees, but not like they were not part of the trust. Because they're Samantha's children, that makes some sense. But we have like, there's no... Matt's and Ernest Jr. Well, so then that would probably be the senior. But then I don't know, what's the other Matson? Gwyneth. Yeah, that doesn't help. So Gwyneth could be older, and then Ernest Jr. would be the firstborn son, and would still be the junior, right? So we don't know which one is which one, and they both have a spouse and a kid, so we can't really go off of anything here. But then we should be able to find Ernest Matson Jr. in the business thing, right? An article from 1982 announces that an Ernest Matson Jr. is taking over the day-to-day operations of Roottree after the previous president died unexpectedly in a car crash. Yeah. Little is known about Ernest, but sources close to the family who have asked to remain anonymous have made it clear that he's more than qualified. There are rumors that Ernest was originally trained to succeed Zach Morton, but had been passed up for unspecified reasons. Yeah, not, blood-related enough. Business Watch also managed to get a quote from the company's publicist. The last 4 years of Roottree have been rough. In an attempt to keep our products relevant to the modern audience, some of our decisions have had unintended consequences. From the fancy flavors misstep to the batter up bar, we've taken a bit of a tumble in the public eye, but Mr. Matson is committed to getting back to basics. Okay, fancy flavors. Fancy Flavors was an addition to the 5-piece product line for less than a year in 1979. It was Guy Hudson's first and historically most cited move as president of Roottree, in an attempt to cater more towards what he thought the average person wanted. Guy looked at his own wealth, which was often a source of envy for others, and decided to tap into the idea that if they added fancy flavors to 5 pieces, anyone could live like the wealthy. Yeah, I don't know. This philosophy led to a flavor in 5 pieces that was meant to mimic caviar. That can't be. That really? That's a horrific idea. It's a horrific idea. 5 pieces sold less that year than it had any other year except in some foreign markets. Which foreign markets like the caviar candy? It was very quickly announced that caviar was meant to be a limited flavor and would go back to normal as soon as possible. Yes, of course. It was only meant to be a limited flavor. So yeah, guy was not very competent. Better Up Bar. I also need to know about the Better Up Bar. The Better Up Bar was a failed candy bar released by the Roottree Company. Launched with great fanfare in 1980, it was meant to evoke the classic combination of pancakes and maple syrup. I mean, okay, that's like a, you know, but that's like a sweet thing. That makes sense in like a candy. The name came from the fact that its recipe used a creamy imitation of pancake batter as its filling, and the packaging had baseball imagery. Yeah, I mean, the baseball thing I would have guessed. But the bat, I don't know, whatever. Consumers loved the taste and the candy launched to stellar reviews, but after a little less than a month on the shelf, it was discovered that the filling of unopened bars began to separate and developed an off-putting texture described as powdery chunks floating in oily goop. This odd consistency made it the punchline of late-night jokes for weeks, solidifying its reputation as a failure. Okay, but so that one, that makes, that is like at least taste-wise, that makes some sense. If it then like, you know, separates and has a weird texture, then yeah, that doesn't, it's not good. But conceptually this could work. Who wants to eat bad? Lots of people like eating, you know, like cookie dough ice cream and that kind of stuff. So that's like very similar, I feel like. Anyway. Pancake batter? Or an actual pancake? Yeah, I mean, pancake batter is not the best one. But if it's like with like maple syrup in there already, you know, that could be okay. Pancake batter is not the most interesting like batter for sure. Anyway. Alright, we didn't really get much out of this. Which is a shame. It's not going to be in any of these. Only in Business Watch. And we don't know who the publicist is either, so we can't really, like, even if that was someone, that's a shame. That is a shame. Yeah, I don't know if we can do anything here then, because we don't have more information on any of the Madsons, I think. I mean, I don't know, you had like a yearbook picture, but like, I don't know. That might not be true. Actually, let's look for these two, I guess. Maybe there's something there. Is it 1 cheese, 2 cheese? 2 cheese. And like there wouldn't be anything. I mean, maybe in. No. Okay, Bethany Kellogg is mentioned very briefly in an article about a local high school science fair from March of this year, about 9 months ago. Apparently, she did an experiment involving sunscreen and ultraviolet light. The article says she was inspired by her mother Bonnie's fair skin. March of this year, 9 months ago. So maybe she's still in high school? Yeah. Okay. High school yearbook. That makes sense. I just, you know, like it could have been like her high school yearbook picture, but then she's now in college. I don't know. Depends on, yeah. Anyway, it's fine. Booyah.